You're the 7th NASA employee I've met in person.
Sounds familiar, eh? Yeah, you guessed it. It's the guy that likes to hang around schools and scare kids by screaming that the Earth is flat.
So I wanted to share with you because if I was walking around with a shirt representing hocus pocus booga booga nonsense.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would never walk around representing anything of the sort, Nathan, would you? Please subscribe.
If you want to find out the truth, you're gonna have to test it yourself.
Are you really telling a NASA employee that he needs to test the shape of the Earth for himself? That's absolutely priceless. The guy literally works for NASA. Regardless of what flat Earth morons think, these people actually go up into space so they can see for themselves that the Earth isn't flat, you ass clown.
So, NASA, did you know where NASA in Hebrew, do you know what that means?
No.
It means to deceive or to lift up.
Really?
Yeah, beguile, like the same word that Satan beguiled Eve in the garden, is Nashah. It's spelled NASA, but...
Nice to see your script hasn't really changed, Nathan. But in fairness, you have added to lift up, which is the actual Hebrew meaning. But you still can't resist the good old-fashioned lie that you think strengthens your argument. NASA does not now, nor did it ever mean to deceive.
It's got a little hyphen, so it's pronounced Nashah, but it's spelled the exact same way.
But in the case of this guy's t-shirt, it isn't spelled at all because it's not a word, it's an acronym. NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
So that's weird that the same word to deceive would be the name for the space company.
True, but it is an acronym too, so...
Well, they do that with a lot of things.
And there he goes, back into the to deceive narrative. It doesn't mean that at all, you butt nugget. And notice how he dismissed the guy explaining it's an acronym. Nah, they do that with a lot of things. They certainly do, Nathan.
Turn things into acronyms or put code into stuff. Like, did you know the UN maps 33 sections? Did you know that? And it's a flat Earth map. This is the UN logo. And it's divided into 33 sections. So 33 is the highest level of Freemasonry. It's also the percentage of angels that came down with Satan from heaven.
Whew, well, that was a lot, wasn't it? Okay, 33 is just a number, and to somebody that doesn't have brainworms, its only significance is that it comes between 32 and 34. Oh yeah, and a quick question about the United Nations logo, because that's what it is. It's not a map of the flat Earth. What did those spaces in the grid pattern signify before 1946? Because it was only after it was redesigned in 1946 it had 33 sections. So if anything, I would imagine it was a design choice. And the world map depicted is to signify world peace. Not that the Earth is flat. And Freemasons. Do you mean the club that was started for stonemasons and then expanded beyond stonemasons to other professions? Or a different Freemasons? And I'm not talking about religion in this video, so I'll be an angel and move on.
So if there is like an elite that worships Satan, 33 is a big number to them. 33, C is the third letter in the alphabet. They do something called gematria, where they hide numbers and letters. So any CC is a 33. So CC on the email, CC on the closed captioning on the television, CC on the injections, CC on the motorcycles.
What? CC? The flat earther?
That's all, folks.
Really, Nathan? I know it doesn't anyway. It means 36 in English gematria. It's 18 twice, dumbass. I thought your mantra was to do your own research. So why didn't you?
M&M is also 33 tilted to the side or inverted or whatever. So M&M candy, M&M the rapper, Mickey Mouse.
M&M is 59 in gematria. Anyway, enough of that nonsense, because now I've listened back, I think you mean putting the letter M on its side makes it look like a 3. Kind of, if you use your imagination, which suits flat earthers perfectly, because I mean everything they think they know is all based in their imagination anyway.
It's just it's pretty symbolism. Yeah, symbolism. They're hiding the truth in plain sight, which is they are occultists. They have a certain set of beliefs that they hide. It's called esoteric and exoteric.
So you don't understand any of it then? Well, I mean, you clearly don't, because every time I see you on YouTube, you're making the definitions of all sorts of different words try to fit within your beliefs. Why this NASA guy hasn't run away yet is completely beyond me anyway. Nathan has done this so many times, I would imagine there's a warning poster on the wall of every NASA building in the world, making sure that their employees know not to engage with them. Because as we all know, never argue with an idiot, because they will always beat you with experience.
So I really appreciate you stopping, because to be honest, most people walking around with a NASA shirt can't even stop their feet.
I've worked for NASA for 15 years.
You're kidding me, dude. You're the 7th NASA employee I've met in person.
Langley Research Center, man.
What are you doing for him?
What's that?
What do you do for him?
IT security.
All right, cool. So, like, is it high-level security?
It's not classified.
Okay,
That's
like,
what you mean.
now that are you still doing security there? Do you do temperature checks and all that stuff now that COVID is going on, or like how's security changed?
Now, I am in no way calling this guy's profession unimportant. I mean, of course it's important, but talking to a security guard from NASA about this sort of thing is like asking the cleaning lady at your doctor's office if the rash on your ass looks normal. You just wouldn't do it. It would be pointless.
Oh, well, the security landscape's changed just logically with everyone working at home. But for the most part, no one's going in.
Really?
Yeah, we're all working from home.
Wow.
At least at Langley Research Center.
Okay, interesting. And so I've met like 7 employees, and my YouTube channel's on that flyer, and I've asked a bunch of them same questions.
Yeah, I can confirm he does that. I've seen most of those videos, and they all have one thing in common, well, maybe 2 common themes. The NASA employee always has that help me look on their face. And it's not for the reasons that Nathan may think. And the questions he asks are completely stupid anyway, which I know isn't much of a shock if you're as familiar with Nathan Thompson as I am. And if you are familiar, there's probably no shock at all. Stupid people like Nathan generally ask stupid questions. And Nathan, you've already established that this guy's a security guard, so what the hell is he gonna know about the inner workings of space missions? Probably about the same as you. Nothing at all. Because it isn't his job to know.
One of them I asked him is, have you heard about the astronaut that drowned in space, allegedly?
Drowned?
He was on the live
American
feed.
astronaut?
He was on the live feed, and he said that I'm drowning, and they cut the live feed.
Okay, he's probably talking about the Italian astronaut Luca Parmitano. Apologies if I've said that wrong. I'm not Italian either. Who nearly drowned during a spacewalk because information about a previous water leak didn't make its way up the chain of command. The cause of the leak was later traced to contamination that blocked a water separator inside Parmitano's spacesuit. I can't wait to see where he's going with this one, but you can bet your ball bag it'll be somewhere really stupid or irrelevant.
So, have you heard of the Natural Buoyancy Laboratory? It's where they have a full-size ISS, and they train in water.
Oh, with the suits in the pools?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they float, similar to how they float in space on the spacewalks.
Well, I'm actually pretty shocked. I think this may be the first time I have ever heard Nathan Thompson tell the truth. The Neutral Buoyancy Laboratory helps astronauts to prepare for space missions involving spacewalks. NASA team members can use the NBL to develop flight procedures, verify hardware compatibility, train astronauts and refine spacewalk procedures during flights that are necessary to ensure mission success and safety.
But the ISS is allegedly going 17,000 miles an hour, but in the vacuum of space, right? So, I'll get to that in a second.
And there it is, allegedly. Back to the Nathan we are all oh so familiar with. Okay, allegedly 17,000 miles per hour. And?
So I've asked three NASA employees gave me 3 different answers. One said it was saliva, one said it was sweat, and another one said it was a malfunction with the air conditioning valve or something. And I was like, well, why are you guys all giving me 3 completely different answers?
Okay, fine. Change the subject, see if I care. Well, maybe the reason 3 different people are giving you 3 different answers, is it possible that none of those 3 people that you asked were actually involved in that incident? You do realize NASA employs a lot of people, don't you? From maintenance men to astronauts. And I dare say that if you were to ask one of the astronauts where Keith, the maintenance man, was when he whacked himself on the thumb with his hammer, they wouldn't know that either. Now, I know that was a stupid example, but hopefully you get my point. And in my defense, I thought we were asking stupid questions and making stupid points anyway. No? Well, okay then. We'll get back to the man who specializes in saying stupid things out loud.
Have you heard of bubbles in space?
Michael Jackson's monkey? No way. I had no idea he'd been to space. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, you gotta research this. So allegedly during these spacewalks, they have bubbles going different directions. And curving, and accelerating and decelerating.
Oops, my mistake. Of course he didn't mean Michael Jackson's pet monkey. That would just be silly.
Like gaseous bubbles?
Well, some astronauts have been asked
Or
about it. They move similar to bubbles underwater, but if you're on the ISS going 17,000 miles an hour.
So they're observing like particles.
Particles, yeah. They'll say it's like dust flaking off the ISS, but they shouldn't be curving. They wouldn't be curving or changing directions or accelerating and decelerating. They would just zoom across the frame.
Well, seeing as you're not asking where the bubbles came from, and I've explained it in a previous video, and I can't for the life of me remember which video it was, I'm not going to bother explaining it again. But if you want to look, you best, just to be careful, watch every single one of my videos right from the beginning, whilst remembering to hit the like button. Tidy. Now, the reason water takes on this unfamiliar form has to do with gravity, or rather the lack thereof. On Earth, air is lighter than water, and its added buoyancy compared to water makes it float upwards and quickly burst through water droplet. In space, however, air bubbles linger in the liquid rather than float into the top because gravity isn't pulling it down.
If the ISS is doing what they say, but our argument is that they fake it in pools, which is why they have a full-size ISS in the pool.
Well, obviously that's what you think, Nathan, because if you were to be honest for once and acknowledge that they do train in water, as I said earlier, 90% of your really stupid argument would be gone, wouldn't it?
But here's the other question I ask all the NASA employees. Here's a good one. Are you familiar with the second law of thermodynamics?
Well, you aren't, Nathan, so why would a security guard from NASA be?
Entropy.
Yeah.
So if you put your hand on a stove, the hot will move to your hand and you'll get burned every time, right? If you puncture a car tire and the car tire has more air than the air around it, the air will deflate into the atmosphere, right? I mean, so that's entropy. High pressure systems move towards low pressure systems. Now, space is allegedly a vacuum, 10 to the negative 17 torr, which is super powerful vacuum. The Sandusky Research Center isn't even close to that powerful, and that's the most powerful vacuum we have. NASA has in Ohio. So they're claiming that that rests next to the atmosphere.
Okay, look, I'm not going to do what Nathan does and pretend to know a lot about this while actually knowing nothing, but entropy measures how much thermal energy or heat per temperature, like a campfire or ice melting, salt or sugar dissolving in your coffee, popcorn making and boiling water, are some entropy examples in your kitchen. And I've always been confused as to why he thinks this proves the Earth is flat and space is fake. So if you can explain it to me down in the comment section, jump down there and do it now. And there's no such thing as negative pressure, you clown. It's always a positive pressure, but lower than atmospheric pressure. So when you say 10 to the negative 17 torr, you just sound really stupid. If I was to let all the air out of my car tires until there was none left at all, giving me a pressure reading of 0, how much more air do I need to get out to get a negative pressure reading? Exactly. Stupid. And just quickly, the vacuum of space is not what you morons think it is. A vacuum does not suck. A vacuum cleaner sucks, but not a vacuum.
Without a barrier.
Okay.
So gas moves in all directions. It doesn't have like one independent vector. It's omnidirectional. It's going all over the place.
Okay.
So how could a vacuum contain all the gas we're breathing? I've asked NASA employees this question.
Okay.
What do you think they say?
I'm not a physicist, so.
I've ran into astronauts, bro. It's crazy. Now, you can't get a solid answer. So they have all kinds of different answers. They'll say, well, eventually gravity pulls it down. Well, we just agreed it goes in all directions. And gravity has one vector, down towards the Earth. But gas doesn't fall down towards the Earth.
Well, depending on how you think gravity works, I would imagine it works a little bit different with the theory of a flat Earth.
How do you think gravity works?
So gravity pulls objects towards each other. Earth's gravity is what keeps you on the ground and what makes things fall. Anything that has mass also has gravity. Objects with more mass have more gravity. And gravity does not pull things down. It pulls things towards the center of mass. And I know that you and many other FE experts think that down is towards the ground, but using your own logic, why if you leave a ball go, does it not fall up or to the left or to the right?
So, space. It's no physical properties. It's the absence of particles. So how is the absence of stuff and a concept bending everything in this heliocentric model so that we have perfect constellations, perfect orbits, predictable eclipses? Like, if we're on a ball spinning, blasting through space, and gravity pulls everything together, you wouldn't have predictable. We don't even have a three-body equation for gravity. It's just M1 and M2, mass 1 and mass 2. So they can't even calculate Saturn and Jupiter and all these other planets' masses in space and their relative position to other objects and how much that gravitational pull would affect it. It's just all hocus pocus booga booga nonsense.
Oh yeah, and you'd know, wouldn't you? How is it the flat earthers like Nathan Thompson here and so many others know so much about something that most of the rest of mankind are yet to understand? There's so much we are yet to learn about space, and that's what makes it such an interesting topic. So to go around acting like you're the world's leading authority on the subject is foolish. As foolish as harassing kids at a school. Well, that's for the authorities to decide, not me. But I know one thing for sure, and that's even though I haven't made a video about this douche canoe in a very long time, he hasn't improved his approach at all. He was an idiot then, and he's still an idiot now.
So I wanted to share with you because if I was walking around with a shirt representing hocus pocus booga booga nonsense.
I can't work out whether that's offensive or not, but anyway, I have learned one thing from this video. I 100% need a NASA t-shirt in my life. Who knows, it could be a tidy NASA t-shirt. We will see. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Definitely give the video a like because YouTube loves it when you do that, and so do I. Take care everyone, I'll see you next time. Love you, bye.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe by order of the Creaky Blinder.